Howdy everybody, Dave here with Nelson Creek Farm, coming to you from the farm's shop. This will be the first time ever we've done an entire video here out of the shop. Today is going to be kind of a late midweek video. You'll have to forgive me on that. I was recuperating from Saturday's farm auction and trying to get things reorganized back to a somewhat normal state, if there is such a thing here at this place. So anyway, stay tuned. We've got a couple of topics that we need to cover today, and I have a poll for you folks to participate in. A little bit of a yes or no, and if not, at least give me your thoughts. So how did the farm sale go? Well, as you could probably notice in the video, the one before this one, I had posted some of the cost of things that were on different items that were being bid on, plus I'd put the sold price on it. One of them was my 1952 John Deere Model 50. Had $1,200 worth of brand new rubber on the back end of the thing just a few years ago. Hadn't seen much use since that rubber was installed. In fact, you could still see nubbies from the molding process on the tread of the tires, plus on the face of each lug that would come in contact with the ground or the road, you could still read the 12.4 by 38 size number that they had in the mold. So yeah, $1,200 for tires, and that tractor brought 410 bucks. Now, based on a lot of the comments I've gotten off of that sale, both here, down below, and elsewhere, a lot of you thought I really got augured. Well, in some ways I did on something like that, but in other ways, I'm glad it's gone because I quite frankly needed the space to put my new LS tractor in out of the weather. The John Deere was sitting in there because it was all open and water could get down in the transmission, etc., so forth and so on. So I had it parked in there along with the grain drill. Now that LS tractor spent 90% of its time since I've owned it sitting outside. Yeah, probably 95% to be a little more accurate. So I'm glad to have owned the John Deere 50. Would I still like to have owned it? Sure. But am I glad it's gone? Yes, I am, because now I got someplace under a roof to put the new tractor. So from that sort of a standpoint, I did okay on the sale. Yeah, some things could have brought a lot more money, but there's a reason why. And I didn't touch on that a lot with you folks. The main reason that I had the sale was it had to do with my mother, okay? Those of you that have been longtime subscribers and followers know that my mother is in a care center. She's never going to be able to come out of 24-hour care. So, Mother was an extreme hoarder. She had paper bags that you put or that you would get your pill bottles from the pharmacy. You know, they count out all the pills, put it in a little bottle, label the bottle, put your envelope, put it in the envelope, staple the receipt to it and hand it to you, that sort of thing. She had those little white paper bags saved in a tote from clear back to 1972. So yeah, a lot of furniture, a lot of stuff I had to go through, lamps, all, you know, Pyrex dishes. She had 17 Pyrex dishes at one time. So yeah. In those great big 18 quart, I think they are, or whatever they are, 18 gallon, those great big, huge storage totes. She had one of those chock full of Ziploc freezer bags that you could have put a rack of ribs in, and they were full of eggshells. She had very carefully poked the ends out of eggs, both ends, blown the contents out so she could fry it up for scrambled eggs or whatever, and she was saving the egg shells for my kids' Easter. She wanted the kids to come over, color the eggs, and go out and hunt them. My kids were pushing 30. It's like, Mom, they're too old for that. So yeah, that's kind of thing that we were dealing with, and a lot of what the sale was really actually about. Now, the thing that really killed the sale and made the prices go down through the toilet for this auction was something that I had seen, hadn't paid any attention to it. And I'm not trying to say this is an excuse, but I don't know that the auction company that I went through caught it either. One of the fellows from the tractor pulling club that's here in the area had passed away. This fellow had an incredible collection of antique farm equipment and antique vehicles. One of the items on the sale was a pickup that I had previously driven by the owner that was prior to this fellow's passing. It was totally restored. He'd gone through it, cleaned it up, repainted it. Beautiful truck. But it was like my 29 pickup cab that I had for sale here. So why buy parts when you can buy something you can drive home? Anyway, the sale was about 50 some miles east of here, over in the city of Rupert, I believe it was, or Hayburn. Museum quality stuff and large quantities of stuff. In fact, there was a combine, Sunbeam or Sunshine Combine. It was one of the first self-propelled combines in the world, built in 1926. The way I understand it, there's one in the UK, one in Canada, one or two in Australia, one somewhere else, and two here in the United States. Really a rare machine. Guess what? My neighbor down the road that has the threshing machine that we did with the threshing machine bee thing here a couple years ago, he bought them both. So now he is the world's largest collector of this Sunbeam or Sunshine or whatever it is, Sun something or other, threshing machine that's self-propelled, built in 1926. So the guys from the tractor club, I get it. They had two choices, junk or really good stuff, basically. So they went to the really good stuff auction. So like I said, I can't really point the blame at myself or the auction company because we were both busy doing other stuff. The auction company had an auction that they wanted to do the weekend prior to mine. That was when I originally had mine scheduled, so if I'd have stuck to my guns and kept that first week, we'd have been probably better. It didn't work out that way. So anyway, like I said, I can't really put the blame on any one particular thing, other than that was the wrong weekend to have that sale. I should have had it weeks, months, whatever before. Now that I actually have the Ford 850 tractor out of the shop, I will be able to get it cleaned up, because if you look behind me, you can see it's a total chaotic mess because I had about that much room all the way around the tractor to walk. This shop is extremely small. It's 18 foot long and 14 foot wide, I think, 16 foot wide, something like that. But it's got 2 foot of shelving down either end, and here in the back, and there's a wood stove, so horribly small. So I'm going to get it cleaned up the next week or two or month or whatever, and then we're going to get to working on some winter projects out here in the shop. One of the items, though, that I really want to talk to you about today, though, is something that was on that sale, and this is where I'd like your yes or no answer. Down in the comments below. I don't know that I can do a poll. I'll have to look, and if I can do a poll on the video, I'll put that in there, and you can thumbs up or thumbs down that idea there. One of the items on the sale was a early 70s Model 440 International hay baler. Small 2-string job. One of the guys was here, in fact, is the guy that bought the combines I mentioned earlier, the self-propelled threshing machines. He used to work for an implement dealer, and that was his specialty, was working on combines, and he seems to think it was a pretty good deal. I'll take you out here in a minute and let you look at it, but I would like your thoughts and opinions on it. I've hooked it up to the back of the Super M. It does, everything runs. We haven't tripped the knotters or anything yet. Makes a heck of a noise because I haven't got the drawbar straightened out yet like it would be if it was in field use. But I think everything in it works. Okay, there's a Super M still kind of hidden in the morning shade today. But here is the hay baler that is in question. Yeah, it is an International Model 440. Pretty decent rubber on the header or pickup side. Gonna probably need to do something different with that drive side tire. Drive side, I mean, is the side with the gearbox, flywheel, and PTO shaft. The old Super M does spin that over. It makes a heck of a noise though, and that's because that cone is rubbing on that outer safety shield, and it makes a heck of a tin banging around noise, only because I can't get the drawbar swung over, or haven't gotten it swung over yet. So I imagine that'll take care of itself once that's done. I can only see the one pickup tine finger missing right there out of all of them on this machine. Actually, I think there's two. Yeah, there is. There's another one. Goes up in that slot there that's missing. Probably can't see it because of the shadows. But that's not bad, and those are probably not too terrible hard to get in there and replace. I'd hope not anyway. Just a matter of undoing a couple of bolts, pulling the dividers or whatever you call these funky things. They slip my mind right now. Yeah, probably not too hard to change that out. Now, the guy that's kind of a hay baler mechanic and very knowledgeable on it, he looked back in here at the plunger knife and said it looked good and sharp. As for the tail end, it has a hydraulic cylinder set up on it for the bale tension to make the bales tighter. You can, with an adjustable valve on it, like most hydraulic balers do. There was nothing in there, and I didn't realize it, but the tension was cranked up, so when I started turning it over, it blew out the seal in that cylinder, but that's an easy fix. I don't mind dealing with that if I can get the parts. And it has a quarter turn deal for the bales as they drop out, so that they just don't lay flat on the strings. The bale, instead of laying flat this way, will stand up this way as it comes out, slides out here flat, flips up and drops between this thing and this plate right here. Yeah, it seems to be the preferred method of having your hay bale sitting on the ground in this area. Now, the baler guy looked at a bunch of stuff back here and seemed to think everything looked really good, other than it needed a good cleaning with a pressure washer, which that's fine with me. I happen to have a pressure washer. He said all the little gear teeth and everything weren't totally wore out, and somebody had been in recently and had put in some shims in the knives on both sides to keep everything working right. So I have played with those type of little knotter fingers before on a Massey Ferguson that I had. One of the fingers was actually missing that rotated around. Well, here's a picture of it right here. If the camera will pick it up. One of these little jewels. You know, I don't know that you can see it. Anyway, take my word for it. Yeah, not the neatest little finger thing. I wish it was one of them little duckbill jobs, but it is what it is, so hopefully that'll work. The one thing I have noticed that is missing is there is a spring that's supposed to attach here down to here. That is missing, so it's basically like this one right there. So yeah, that's just something I have to come up with, but not a huge deal breaker, I don't think. When you get down into the bale chamber, things don't look too terribly bad down in there either. A lot of oil here and there, and might have to replace the dogs, but other than that, don't know. The needles are all there. They're not bent, they're not out of alignment, and they're all in one piece. So that's a big plus right there too. Now there is some wear on the gears right there for the knotter assembly. Like this one right there, you can see that wear spot in it. There's up there, got a little groove wore into it. That tells me that the old girl has seen a lot of hours on it, possibly run dry on that, and has had a lot of bales through it. But everybody I talk to for 200 bucks seems to think it's a good way to go. The guy that bought it only paid like 60 or 65, so already I'm getting gouged. But honestly, folks, I don't mind paying a monthly bill. I know a lot of people think that's self-gratification and whatnot, but I would rather pay a monthly bill and have a dealer that I can go to and get parts from. Whereas the dealer in town, even if I started going to them, I don't know that I could get parts for this from them. I think they have moved on into the big 1-ton balers exclusively on everything they got. And anything I would need for this one, it's going to have to be a special order. Well, I've rambled on enough for this little video. Like I said, it's kind of our late midweek video, and I'm not doing anything on tips and tricks on how to prep and homestead. Lord knows we need to. Folks, right now with the thing going on in Israel, stock up on food, medicine, winter clothing, heating supplies, blankets, extra clothing. Even if you got to go to town, buy it new. Ammo. If you have a pea shooter, get you some ammo now because the prices are going to go up. Purchase your fuel now. Tucker Carlson, a week ago on one of his podcaster shows, made the comment about by the end of October, all heck is going to break loose. We're going to be out of diesel fuel for the trucks, etc., so forth and so on. Okay, where's this all going on at? Middle East, okay? Middle East goes up in flames, there goes our fuel oil. There goes our gasoline, there goes our diesel. Everything we buy, make, and sell and trade in this country has something to do with plastics or fuel. And that most of it comes from down there because Knothead and DC shut down the pipeline. So expect fuel prices to go nuts. And I'm thinking it's going to happen within the next 7 days. You will see prices bottom and start inching upwards. So yeah, if you can, I noticed today they went down uptown here, but still, stock up on fuel if you can, add fuel preservative to it, that sort of thing if you can. Yeah, but be prepared, folks. I've been saying this now in the midweek videos. Be prepared because the stuff's going to hit the fan and it's coming. Yeah. Anyway, I picked up a few new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, folks. Appreciate it. Give you all a big hug if I could, but you're there and I'm here and whatever. I don't go that way either. Dirty-minded buggers you are. See how you are. Anyway, yeah. So, y'all be careful, happy, safe, kind, and courteous to your fellow humans here in the States. And until next time, subscribe down there if you would, please. And please, down below there, leave a yes or no in the comments about either buying that hay baler or letting it go on and buying a new one. Or newer one, maybe a different brand. I'm not looking for orphan jobs like Freeman's or that sort of thing. I want something I can get parts for. Yeah, more or less. Anyway, y'all be careful out there and have a great day. I'm Dave with Nelson Creek Farms wishing you well. Bye-bye for now.